Academy of Art University's KART News is next. Coming up, the end of a famous business in the Bay Area that could affect your restaurant's bill.
The new state law that goes into effect January 1st that could save your life.
A new beauty trend imported from Asia that involves having your face slapped.
Plus, an insider's look at a new movie featuring Cirque du Soleil, and a whole lot more, all coming up next on KART News. Good evening. Thanks for joining Academy of Art University's KART News. I'm DeRay Parker.
And I'm Norma Lopez. Here is what we're working on tonight. Environmentalists versus food connoisseurs. The battle seems to be winding down after Secretary of Interior Ken Salazar announced his decision not to renew Drake's Bay Oysters Company, leased on November 29. The Drake's Bay Farm sits on a plot of land where the National Park Services plans to establish a federally designated wilderness area. KART's news reporter Kendall Long paid a visit to Drake's Bay to get the story from the workers and community's point of view, who say the ruling will do more harm than good.
Here, at the Drake's Bay Oyster Farm, there's one thing on everyone's mind.
Oysters.
Oysters. So
Yeah, it's Drake's Bay. It's an industry that you can't ignore.
But not everyone has the same opinion. The farm responsible for supplying 40% of the bay with oysters is shutting down due to a ruling against extending their lease.
I think it's terrible. What is the whole Bay Area going to do if they don't have this place for their oysters?
I was a sous chef over at Nick's Cove, and these guys were always some of the best people to deal with. Every time we were getting low or we were about to run out on a busy day, we call them up, yeah, we'll be there as soon as we can, and 40 minutes later they showed up every time.
With the closing of Drake's Bay Farm, prices of oysters are expected to soar to new heights.
I enjoy oysters, and I just know that they supply like 40 to 50% of the oysters to the city for restaurants, so I definitely don't want to see prices go up.
Not only does the closing of Drake's Bay affect your wallet, it also makes a huge impact on the community and people who work here.
They've been here their whole lives, and this job they're dependent on it. And what the park is asking them to do is really pack up all of their belongings that they've had here for 25, the longest is 30 years, to just pick up and move. They're not just employees, they're friends growing up, and they're, I guess you say, family.
This for a long time has been my work. So if it's not work here for my wife and for me too, I have to go out to find something else because it's going to be really hard. So it's tremendous because it's changing from the ground up my way of living.
Drake's Bay plans to go to court in hopes of reversing the ruling, but until then, the only thing left of this oyster farm may be the mounds of shells left behind. In Drake's Bay, this has been Kendall Long, KART News.
If Drake's Bay Oyster Company fails to revoke the ruling, they would be expected to be out of the area within 60 days.
The commercial crab boats will remain tied up as the crab fishermen remain on strike over crab prices. Fish brokers are trying to drop the previously agreed price of $3 a pound to $2.75 or even less than that due to the slow demand. Hopefully the issue will be resolved and both sides can come to an agreement soon.
Smoking on the streets of San Francisco may be banned at outdoor events and fairs. The full board of supervisors will vote next year whether to make smoking illegal at street fairs and other outdoor events on city-owned property. If the Board of Supervisors does vote on making smoking illegal, then event organizers will have to post notices and make announcements about the ban smoking being a city law. The proposal of the new law was approved by Board of Committee on Monday. Eric Marr, who is a sponsor supervisor, said that the law will help make the 350 outdoor events that take place in San Francisco, such as the Cherry Blossom Fair and Gay Pride events.
Are you safe from carbon monoxide poisoning? Beginning next year, every housing unit in San Francisco will be required to have a detector. KART News reporter Kelsey Walden has more.
Carbon monoxide is not something you can see, hear, smell, or taste, but there can be nasty results from breathing it in.
Headaches, feel sick to my stomach, dizzy. It's weird because you don't really know what's going on because it just kind of feels like you have the flu or something.
That's why on January 1st, 2013, California has required all rental households to have a carbon monoxide detector.
Senate Bill number 183, also known as the Carbon Monoxide Poisoning Prevention Act, requires all owners of single-family and multifamily leased or rented properties to install a detector. In San Francisco, about 23,000 multi-unit residences will be affected in the second installment of the law that passed in 2010. In a statement released by Acting State Fire Marshal Tanya Hoover says carbon monoxide is a silent killer, each year claiming the lives of an average of 480 people and sending more than 20,000 people to emergency rooms across the nation. The executive director of Tenants Together, Dean Preston, advises people to demand the detector from the landlord, and if that doesn't work, to contact a local inspector.
I do think it's really important that detectors are required to put in the home. I know as a renter myself, having a carbon monoxide detector in my home is going to make me feel a lot safer, just like having a smoke detector.
And there are a few safety tips the fire department would like you to keep in mind. Make sure your alarm is outside each sleeping area and on every single level of the home. Keep the alarm clear of dust and debris, and make sure if it is battery operated, the battery is fully charged. And on those chilly days and nights, please don't use a gas oven to heat your home. And if you are sleeping in the same room as a gas or kerosene space heater, please make sure it is properly ventilated. For more information, visit www.fire.ca.gov. In San Francisco, I'm Kelsey Walden for Academy of Art University's KART News.
The law requiring owners of multifamily leased and rental living spaces to have carbon monoxide detectors will be in full effect starting January 1st of 2013.
Skype appears to be ready to launch a video messaging service that has been rumored for more than a month. The service is based on sending video messages to your contacts instead of having a video conversation. This is not officially confirmed by Skype yet. However, the company slipped on Wednesday as Skype updated its terms of use to include video messaging. The service is expected only to be offered to Skype Premium users in the beginning.
Apple's much maligned Map app has been classified by Australian police as potentially life-threatening. The app, notorious for its incorrect maps and directions, has been sending people to a remote nature reserve instead of the Australian city of Mildura. 6 people have been stranded in the park after being misdirected by Apple's maps. Some were stuck for 24 hours without food or water, and where temperatures can reach up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
As the new year approaches, a parking war has started between SFMTA and the residents of the North Mission area. I went out in the field to talk to residents who will be affected by this change. There are over 29,000 parking meters here in the city of San Francisco, but here in 17th and Folsom, there are none. But that might change very, very soon. In January, they're trying to impose a new law that they're going to add 5,000 more parking meters throughout this area, which some people are not happy because right now they can just park for free.
Lo que buscamos es ahorrar un poquito, utilizarlo en otras cosas más importantes y sí me va a afectar mucho.
So if these parking meters are going to be added here in this area, how are small business going to be affected by this?
See all of the businesses that are affected by it in neighborhoods that already have meters. But when we do lose the fight, which we will because there's not enough support on, this for, small business or just the people aren't representing themselves well enough in the city. We're basically making plans to pack up and leave. For us, that's, it's kind of sad because Charlie's been in this location for 14 years. But that's kind of what San Francisco wants. They're just not telling us that. They're wanting to push out small business, and that's what they're doing.
Here in the Mission area of San Francisco, I am Norma Lopez for Academy of Art University's KART News. To stay up to date, go to sfmta.com, where you will find more information on this issue.
Daily BART commuters might find themselves paying more for parking in the future. While nothing has been decided or determined, BART is looking into reviewing and possibly revising its parking policy, which has remained unchanged for several years. Currently, most BART stations charge only $1 for parking, which could go up to $3 if the district decides to go ahead with the price hike. However, more expensive stations, like West Oakland's BART station, which currently charges $5, will remain unchanged.
San Francisco's homeless community may potentially be on the road to free cell phone services. If this federally funded program is approved, Assurance Wireless will provide individuals with the Virgin mobile device 250 minutes and 250 text messages free. People who participate will have to pay a fee of $20, but once participants are fully enrolled, they will receive the $20 credited to their account when the complimentary minutes are overused. The free phones are to keep the homeless in touch with possible housing openings and opportunities and possible future employers.
Donations are pouring in for a beloved San Francisco homeless man after his shoe shine stand was vandalized during post-World Series celebrations night. Bimo Genzar has the story.
San Francisco is a city of great views, cable cars, and a lot of heart. For Larry Moore, life is a little bit different. Moore is a homeless shoe shiner and ex-addict whose shoe shine stand on Market Street his only source of income and hope for a better life. Not long ago, he slept under a bridge, washed in a public bathroom, and was panhandling for booze money. But now, Larry Moore may be the best dressed shoe shine man in the city. When he gets up in the morning, he puts on a coat and tie. It's a reminder of how he has turned things around.
At this point, it seems like life is not getting better for Larry, because he is yet to encounter another problem.
It was about 5 weeks ago, the Giants had won the World Series, and the city just went into chaos and too much partying, and the city had a big Megastron TV down at the Civic Center, and everybody's about 10,000 people down there, and the party got way out of hand, and they started torching, setting fires, turning cars over. They lit the Muni bus on fire right here at 3rd Street Market. I'm right here on New Montgomery Market. They came down here and then torched my shoe shine stand.
When the San Francisco Chronicle published Larry's story, the public listened and responded.
The donation, somebody had opened up Megan Hopkins had opened up a website called FromIndigoGoGo.com. It's a nonprofit organization who you can do fundraisers for people that are in need. And Megan had thought that might be a need because my shoe shine stand was torched, and it would be a good idea for maybe somebody, and honestly, could give money to help me get back on my feet. And the goal was $5,000, and the response was just overwhelming. It hit its goal within 36 hours.
Larry shows the world that what can happen when a street person living under a bridge seeks for a better life and accepts the challenges of getting there. In San Francisco, this is Bimo Genzar for KART News.
For further information about the donation or more story about Larry, visit www.larrymoreshineon.com.
Now we have Layla Brockovich with the latest student news here at Academy of Art University.
Finals are in full swing, but it's important to take a break sometimes. Some people might even be done, so it's time to celebrate. The folks at Student Life are doing their best to help during this hectic time. First, the coming Tuesday, December 18th, there will be a karaoke party at the KART Cafe. Make sure to practice your Christmas jingles over the weekend. Nothing says Christmas like an ugly holiday sweater. AAU Campus Life is having yet another contest. The contest will be virtual. If you would like to join, enter the Facebook group 12 Days of Holidays Facebook contest, The Ugliest Sweater. If your sweater is the ugliest, you will win a water bottle and a complimentary smoothie. The Ladies Knights basketball team facing off against Holy Names on Saturday and looking to keep their winning season going. Points were hard to come by in the game for the ladies, but when they needed them the most, players like Ariel Dale and Alyssa Griggs were there to answer the call. Holy Names is making a game out this match up as the Knights led 51-47 at the half. Also after halftime, Academy were giving out certificates to players who had kept high grades while being an athlete. In the second half, the game turned physical as the Knights shot only 36%. But the free throws from Jordan Rogers helped to ice the game for the ladies, who won 94 to improve their record 7-2. Also highlights for your men's team, who were looking to pick up a win against the losing team Holy Names last Saturday night. The Knights' offense starting out big as Zara Robotam pulls up for the 3 points. Defense would also be a key as Brian Fisher steals the ball and finishes nicely the dunk. The Knights holding the Holy Names to just 36% shooting in the first half. At halftime of the Academy of Art honored sports participants and their community service work they have put in this year. The next half was much of the same as the Knights kept rolling on offense. The Knights cruising their way 72-55 victory over Holy Names. The Knights shot 53% on the night and find themselves at 2-5 with a 1-on-1 record in Pacific West Conference. Even though winter break hasn't started yet, it's time to think about classes you want to take next. If you would like to graduate in time or are struggling with graduating in time, then intersessions might be the right thing for you. Speak to your advisor and remember the intersession starts at January 14th. For all the international students at the Academy of Art University, pay attention. Do not leave the country without getting your I-20 signed. Remember that you cannot enter the country over the break if it's not signed. Make sure to turn it in time, as it takes a couple of days before it's ready. That's it for Student Life's New tonight.
Would you pay $350 to be slapped? A Thai massage parlor in San Francisco is offering this bizarre anti-aging Thai beauty treatment. Reporter Haley Gao found out why people are willing to spend money to get slapped.
Believe it or not, some people are making a living by slapping others' faces. The new Dada massage parlor in San Francisco is charging folks $350 to get slapped in the face repeatedly. The treatment apparently slaps the years off your face.
My name is Lasami Saitan, New Series World. You can call me Tata.
Rigorous slapping, pinching, and smoothing. Dada, who you are watching right now, is the masseuse at the parlor. She opened the place with her husband Marvin. Dada was trained in Thailand, and she is the first face-slapping beauty therapist in the Western Hemisphere.
It's face slapping and slapping. It's an ancient Thai wisdom technique that's been passed down from generation to generation. And what this does is it slims your face, lessens your wrinkles, and makes your pores smaller.
So what do consumers think about the slap? Take a look at this online review by William C. He said, "I would just ask my wife to do that to me, and it's free. She can also let out her anger and frustration towards me." This bizarre anti-aging Thai beauty treatment attracts media from all over the world. Of course, the American local media came as well. Here is video from CBS 5 after their intern Ali received the treatment.
There was no stinging at all. It felt like a really strong pressure on my face, and then other times it was actually quite gentle.
Dada learned her secret technique from her teacher Gong Ken Mika, who is also well known in both Thailand and Japan.
Her teacher will only accept 10 students in her lifetime for face slapping. Tata is only one of 10 students for face slapping.
Dada told me her instructor not only teach face slapping, also popular in Thailand is breast slapping to enlarge the size of the chest. According to an independent study by the Thai Health Ministry, the breast slapping might work by shifting fat from one area to another, kneading excess fat towards the breast. In San Francisco, I'm Haley Gao reporting for Academy of Arts University's KART News.
If getting slapped and pinched sounds relaxing and therapeutic to you, be sure to visit their website at tatamassage.com.
For more on lifestyle news, we have Miles Babbitt with more.
Some people call it holiday aromatherapy as Christmas time rolls around. There are a few new home enhancements now available at a Nordstrom's near you and even online. You can purchase different home fragrances such as Antica Pharmacista's Ambience Fragrance, Pomegranate, Blood Orange, and KART. These household fragrances bring you fresh smells, peacefulness, and a sense of good tidings to your home. Don't miss out on this opportunity and make sure you visit your closest Nordstrom or just pay them a visit online. The 36th annual Holiday Run and Walk for Health is back again and will take place at Contra Loma Regional Park in Antioch this upcoming weekend. This event benefits not only the youth, but local schools and libraries. This event is used to not only promote funding for the schools, but also to bring the community closer and get everyone engaged with one another. The participation challenges are featured just for schools and libraries. The event starts off with a 1-mile run or walk of your choice at 9 a.m. for all kids with the age of 12 and under. Next, at 9:30, the 10K run for all ages takes place after the mile run at 9:45. The 3-mile run or walk of choice takes place for ages 10 and up. And at the end of the event, the kids with the age of 7 and under take a dash with Santa for a 40-yard run. And if you'd like to register for this upcoming event, visit sfgay.com and click the link www.holidayrun.org. Have a great holiday season. Back to you.
Hayes Valley knows how to have fun for the holiday season with discounts and cocktails. Here's reporter Taylor Seifert with more on the celebration.
Normally by this hour, most of the Hayes Street shops are closed, but not during the holiday block party.
The Hayes Valley Block Party brings a lot of new people into Undefeated. People that normally just walk by and dismiss it as a normal shoe store get to see the other side of it. A lot more social, plus it extends our hours, which gives more opportunities for people to grab shoes that are usually at work when we're closed.
There was live music in the park under the stars, while the shops were entertaining as well. Some shops were having karaoke, and some shops had photo booths, while the other shops were entertaining with treats and complimentary cocktails.
So I think the Hayes Valley Block Party is a good thing. Here at Undefeated, they put out a good vibe for the community. I mean, I stopped by, nice people, nice faces, good times, promotes business in the neighborhood, and really strengthens the community that they have going here.
Don't miss out on the holiday cheer next year. Until next time, I'm Taylor Seifert in Hayes Valley, San Francisco.
Check HayesWired.com for pictures from the block party and all things Hayes Valley.
Here's Bimo Ganzar with the latest entertainment news.
Millions of fans on both sides of the U.S. and the Mexican border are mourning the death of Jenny Rivera, the most successful Latina singer with her soulful, straight-talking ballads of hard living. She died on December 9 in a plane crash in northern Mexico at age 43. The small jet carrying Miss Rivera and 6 other passengers crashed about 3:30 a.m. in the mountainous terrain outside Monterrey. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, there were no survivors. Miss Rivera was enrolled from a concert in Monterrey to the city of Toluca, where she was scheduled to appear as a judge on La Voz, the Mexican version of the TV vocal competition, The Voice. Authorities have not determined what caused of the crash. The superstar singer Beyonce Knowles has inked a deal with the soft drink giant Pepsi to become its new brand ambassador, a deal reportedly worth $50 million. The 30-year-old pop star sensation will become the face of Pepsi, appearing on soda cans and bottles. She will also power an advertising campaign along with her release
of her release album next year. The former Destiny's Child is also slated to perform at halftime the Super Bowl in New Orleans on February 3rd next year. Director James Cameron and Andrew Adamson joined forces to present a fantastical love story movie featuring the best of the world-famous circus performances, Cirque du Soleil. Kendall Long talked with the star of the movie.
Everyday life can sometimes seem ordinary. So it's natural to crave something more. To hunger for something that you can't describe. As it turns out, all you have to do is step inside.
So the movie itself is pretty much like a collaboration of all the Cirque du Soleil performances. You're in KART, you've been in that one. So how was it experiencing a little bit of every performance?
It's really cool. In a lot of ways, Cirque du Soleil has sort of its own culture because it is so international, and it's Mongolian and Chinese and French and Russian and American and everything. So it has kind of its own vibe that had just been collected through all of these influences. But each of the individual shows also is almost like a state within a country, that it has sort of its own style. Like New York is different than California, is different than, you know, Arkansas. And it's sort of like that, where there's little bits and pieces that you can take from each, little sense of humor, the way that they operate that's different. And getting to kind of travel between them was a huge, just cool privilege.
You worked with a director who is not used to live performances. Andrew Adamson.
Yeah.
And so how was it, how did you guys work together? You know, because it's completely different, you know, live performance as opposed to doing a movie.
Absolutely. Andrew Adamson, he created Shrek and he did the Chronicles of Narnia and that whole world. So he's really comfortable within the kind of fantasy genre, which made Cirque, I think, a really natural fit for him. He was great in deferring to us when it came to stuff that he knew that we knew better. That he wouldn't try to tell us which acrobatic tricks to attempt, but he'd tell us which ones he thought told the story best.
So after this, do you feel like you have a love for movies now? Do you have a love for, you know, movie performance as opposed to live? What are you going to do next?
I do, actually. I really like the pace of film. It's totally different from live theater. It's a totally different experience. But I really do enjoy it, and I would like to work more in films. However, I'm not 100% ready to hang up my leotard yet. There's something about flying through the air that you just can't get anywhere else. So if I could do a little of column A, a little of column B, it'd be the happiest little actor-acrobat out there.
Cirque du Soleil, Worlds Away, comes to theaters December 21st in 3D, so be sure to go and check it out. This has been Kendall Long, KART News.
That's it for entertainment news. Back to you.
That's it for this edition of Academy of Art University's KART News. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm DeRay Parker.
And I'm Norma Lopez. This is our final newscast of the year. See you back in 2013. Have a great holiday season.